Hey everybody, it's Ben here, and today I want to show you how I'm building a charging adapter for a 1990s factory-built electric pickup truck. So right behind me here, I have literally a 20-year-old factory-built electric truck. And of course, a lot of things have changed in electric vehicles in the last 20 years. Of course, the battery technology. The other big one, though, is the mainstreaming of electric vehicles. I drive an electric car every single day, and I plug it into the wall with this connector right here. But this does not fit what's in the truck. So let's come in close, think about standards, and figure out how I can charge this truck off of modern electric vehicle charging equipment. So this here is our current charging standard. All cars in the US will plug in using this J1772 connector. Even Teslas, sometimes people say, nope, Teslas use a totally different thing. Well, it's just a variation. It's the same number of pins. It's a slightly different connector. That mostly has to do with some things with the supercharger system. But if you buy a Tesla, you get this little adapter, and it just snaps right on here. It's still the exact same charging equipment, just a slightly different physical connector here. But if we compare it to what this truck was designed to run on, holy cow, these two things are different. So I'll show you how this goes in. It kind of hooks, and it tilts, and it clicks down into place here. Now, what's interesting about this is if we look on this AVCON connector, we've got hot, signal, ground, and then proximity is taken care of by a magnet here that activates a magnetic switch in the truck. So if I just take any ferrous metal, I've just got a pin here, I hold it here, I can feel the magnet grab that. So that activates the switch in the truck for proximity. So if you count that, again, we've got 5 connections, just like we do with our modern J1772. So it turns out that this AVCON connector that the truck would use is just an early version of the modern J1772 that we use for all electric cars right now. In fact, if you Google J1772, the first thing that's going to pop up is the Wikipedia entry, and if you go on there, the second photograph will actually show a Ford Ranger EV with this connector plugged into the truck. So it's the same signaling process between these two connectors. So that's going to make it easy for us to be able to design an adapter. So let's take a look at our parts, and I'll show you how I'm doing this. So to build an adapter, we need 2 things. One is a J1772 inlet, and then of course the other one is just going to be this AVCON claw connector, which I already have, came with the truck when I got it. This one's not in great condition. There should be a sliding plate here that's missing, but it'll still work okay. So down here, again, we've got hot, ground, but then the other 2 pins are pilot and proximity. So if we look on the back here, the blue wire, pin number 5, that's proximity. That's this connection right here, but we don't need to use that because we're going to use that switch that's in the truck to accomplish that. So the truck knows that it's plugged in. But over here, this is the pilot signal, and what the pilot signal does is it tells the vehicle that is connected to an electric car charging station, and then it also requests, hey, how much power do you have? And then the vehicle doesn't charge using any more current than what's available. So that protects the wiring. It makes sure you charge, but you do it properly and safely. No melting wires or blowing fuses or anything. So on the back of that, that's this green wire. And what I did is I simply followed that back, and then this is really super simple. All I did was from our connection here, the hot and the hot, I just wired those up to pass through to the hot and the hot, the ground to the ground, and then the only other wire was just simply that pilot signal. And again, because it's all J1772, all I'm doing is just passing the information through here. So let's test this out. Now, obviously, this isn't in a project box yet. It will be for the final version. One reason why I haven't done that already is that this port was originally out of a car that only had about a 3,000 watt charger, so it's using relatively light gauge wiring. It's really only designed for 3.3K charging, and the truck can do 6.6K charging, so I'll want to get a different connector here with some heavier wires on it. But right now I'm just doing a proof of concept test, so I'm just taking my 3.3K wall charger here, plug it in, and then on the other end, I'm going to take my AVCON claw and put it in the truck. Now the next thing we have to do is wait a minute, because the truck, it's a little slow to boot. It takes a few moments for the battery charger to click on. I'm going to get close with my microphone just to see if we can hear some of it. It takes a minute, then you start hearing some clicks and whirs. I just heard a couple of clicks. Here we go. Okay, so now it's charging. And one thing I did on my home charging setup here was I added a ammeter and voltmeter to it so it can always see how much power is going through. The truck is mostly charged, so right now it's charging at a little bit less than 6 amps or about 1,400 watts. So now if I release it, you'll hear the charging stop, and from a safety point of view, all the way back at the EVSE, that's actually where the power gets cut. So there will be no live power anywhere in the path here. So I'll just unplug it. So there you have it. Proof of concept is that it works. I'll have to get a higher current J1772 inlet, get this all inside of a power box. Somebody expressed concern that, oh no, if you have an adapter, somebody could steal it. Well, right on the box, I could design something with a solid loop and put a bike lock through it or something. So I'm not too worried about that there, but I am glad that this all looks like it's working. So that's it for today, but I'll of course keep you updated as I do the final version of this project. Please comment, like, subscribe. Go into the description of the video for all the links that are on there, including to the blog at 300mpg.org. I'd love it if you stopped over there. Check out some of the blog entries, the articles, product reviews that are over there. And until next time, stay charged up.